All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:45 in the morning, June 16, 2021, and this is my morning strategy session. Okay, so what am I looking at today? I have AMC and GME up on my charts. I doubt I'll trade them. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on them. So there are not any large cap. There's one large cap that's on the move today. It's DEI. It's up 7.6% pre-market, but that's only on 8 shares of volume. So I do not trust DEI as a trade. I wouldn't be surprised to see it open up flat wherever it is. So I'm just not even going to put it on a chart. So the rest of what I'm looking at are small caps this morning. It's SPI, GTEC, and APRE. I don't have levels on any of them because they will be momentum plays. The one that I'm most familiar with here is SPI. Somewhat familiar with GTEC. I've traded this before years ago, I think it is now. It has a history of popping up and then falling down. Let's see. Yeah, I traded this one last year. I've traded this one a couple of times. And I've made some money on it. So it's popping up pre-market. The news is GTEC. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. And actually, I kind of like this company. Greenland Technologies launches online EV pre-booking service. Shares surge 24% pre-bell. And what I like about this company is that it's profitable. It's a small cap that is actually pulling in decent revenues. Revenues in 2019 were $52 million. Net income is $4.46 million. Somewhat inefficient. Its profit margin is only 8.52%. So somewhat of an inefficient use of or inefficient return on its revenues, but it is a new, basically a new industry, so it can be forgiving. It did do better in 2020. It pulled down $66.86 million in revenues, with a net income of $6.76 million and profit margin of 10.11%. And so when it comes to trading small caps, in particular small cap momentum, GTEC only has 2.99 million shares outstanding, or I'm sorry, 2.99 million share float. Let's look at its outstanding. Its outstanding is 10.5 million. So it's not moving very much pre-market right now. When I came into the office, pre-market volume was at roughly 550 million. And that was almost an hour ago that I got into the office. And it's now traded 567,000, sorry, not million. So there's only been, since I've been here for an hour, there have only been 17,000 shares traded. So it's pretty quiet. That's why it's not my favorite on the day. That's why it's not so on GTEC, I will be looking for a little bit of profit taking on GTEC at the open, and then look for perhaps a momentum setup or just price starting to move up past, it's open, or just whatever kind of a momentum setup just kind of reveals itself. We'll see. Now, SPI, I actually have pre-market orders in for this one, and I actually anticipated this one to have an 830 spike down right here, but it didn't happen. I was anticipating the 830 crowd to come in and spike this thing, sell it off, but it didn't really happen. So I have orders in on this one. I'm actually in at $7.99 per share already. I have 4 more orders for a total of 500 shares, spread every 25 cents from $7.99, $7.75, $7.50, $7.25, and $7 for purchases. Looking for the news on SPI here. It unveils charging solutions for U.S. electric vehicle market. So they're working on installing infrastructure for EV charging stations or something of the like. I've forgotten what revenues and earnings are on this one. Okay, so 2020, revenues. So on an annual basis, revenues 114 million, 121 million, 125 million. And then last year, just like anybody, any company last year during the cerveza sickness lockdown, revenues were 97.88 million. Earnings, net income, it certainly improved. It went from negative 220 million, profit margin of negative 192% in 2016, to negative 91 million in 2017, to negative 12 million in 2018, to negative 15 million in 2019. So, the stock is popping up on news. If it opened up right now, it would open up 21% higher. So it's going to trade. Right now, it already has 6.2 million shares traded pre-market. So it's busy. We'll see how it goes. All right, and then APRE just popped up. APRE has a leukemia treatment, phase 1/2 trial of combination leukemia treatment met primary endpoint. Shares climb. Small cap pharma, small cap biotech, small cap whatever in the sort of pharma arena is really just, this is not an investment, this would be just a trade. And the market just tends to reward these stocks. I don't know if it's like a way of Wall Street sort of endorsing these small companies, I don't know, so they can, sell some more shares or what to keep business running, or I don't know. But leukemia, any kind of cancer treatment, any kind of a treatment for heart disease, or anything that is good for humanity. Wall Street just tends to reward it. So I'll be a part, if I can, be a part of that reward system and make gains simultaneously. Then last up that I'm watching, well, actually it's not last up. I'll look at the SPI too. Bitcoin here. So there are a lot of people who are looking at this chart saying, it looks like there is let me get to a different color here. I think it's going to be green. Let me change the color real quick so it's a bit more distinguishable. Change it to yellow. There are a lot of people who are saying that they're seeing a head and shoulders formation here, which may not actually be that far off. This could wind up being, this larger formation could wind up being a larger head and shoulders reversal pattern. Just in the time being, though, there's already a head and shoulders pattern in play. Pardon me. And something that I don't like about this larger head and shoulders pattern is that the neckline. Well, actually, let's draw the neckline again here. Let's see real quick. Let's call that neckline and that the neckline. That's actually a fairly flat neckline, so it's not bad. Well, okay. Anyway, there's already a head and shoulders in play here, and here's the left shoulder. The head is higher than the left shoulder, and the right shoulder is lower than the left shoulder, and the neckline is sloping down. Bitcoin is under pressure. Until it can break out of this pattern, Bitcoin is under a lot of pressure here. So I'd much prefer to see Bitcoin go up. I want to buy into sort of secondary or tertiary Bitcoin plays like Coinbase, and there are a few other little small cap miners, Bitcoin miners, and crypto miners for other Ethereum and InDAO and all sorts of other little players in the crypto arena. I'd like to invest in. I mean, from what I understand, crypto is going to be here. It's here to stay. These cryptocurrencies and the crypto idea in and of itself, it's here to stay. It's going to get institutionalized, and so, it's a matter of figuring out where to invest. If Bitcoin breaks out of this pattern then I will start to invest in more Bitcoin-related equities. However, until it does that, until it can prove itself as being out of this pattern, I don't want anything to do with it. So for right now, this Head and Shoulders is in play. It's possible this next larger Head and Shoulders area could play out. If it does, then it does, and I'll play that accordingly if there's something there for me to play. Otherwise, I'm waiting for this pattern to get broken or continue to play out, whichever way it goes. Something interesting that happened yesterday. Take a look on the 10-minute. Here's the neckline on that head and shoulders pattern. And yesterday, Bitcoin, my neckline can't be perfect. I mean, there's nothing perfect about any of this stuff. But isn't it interesting? My neckline is roughly at, let's say, 41,400. And Bitcoin went up to 41,326. So within $75 of the neckline to test it, and then just immediately sold off, was at 41,326 to selling off down to 39,500. So a $2,000 sell-off roughly in Bitcoin after, it just got rejected at the neckline. So Bitcoin's under pressure. It's bearish. Until that changes, I'll hold off on investing on anything like Coinbase or any of the small miners that I have on watch. I'll keep that up. Now, the broader market, there's going to be, the Fed minutes come out today. I don't know. I don't remember what time, 2:30, whenever they come out. I've forgotten. Maybe it's earlier, 12:30, something like that. I usually don't trade it. I usually don't pay too much attention to it. But that also means that I don't get into a position in front of it either. Just kind of going on what's been happening in the past few weeks here is the SPI is just in a really tight range. The daily moves are, less than $2. There's not much range to work with. The entry signals are weak. The ability to trade this on the relative strength index corresponding with the VIX's relative strength index just hasn't been reliable. So the signals for getting in and out of positions, I have played it a couple of times in the past 2 weeks, but I haven't put much risk into the trade by any means. So that's pretty much what's going on for me today. SPI, GTEC, and APRE will be most likely what I trade today. And the SPY, AMC, GME, they're just on watch. And then Bitcoin is on watch. All right, everybody. That is my morning strategy session. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you at today's recap. I am out.